Now, there are many great sitcoms. Moreover, there are many great mockumentaries. Office USA, Parks and Recreation, or People Just Do Nothing. But in my opinion, there is one that stands out, that being the original UK Office. Now, why do I think it's great? First, the cast. The show, unlike the American remake, is focused only on a small amount of characters. Now, this did mean some characters weren't fully developed, but that wasn't the point of the show. And the show features a very strong cast. Obviously, Ricky Gervais as David Brent, a selfish, self-absorbed boss who thinks his employees like him, despite him constantly belittling them. Martin Freeman as Tim, the funny sales representative who pranks his co-worker Gareth and constantly flirts with the receptionist Dawn. Mackenzie Crook as Gareth, who thinks he has power in the company and constantly tries to impress his boss and isn't very socially aware that people don't like him and take him seriously. And Lucy Davis as Dawn, the receptionist who flirts with Tim and is unsatisfied with her current job. All these cast members help make the show incredible, and due to the show mainly focusing on these characters, it allows the actors/actress to have more time to show their talent. Take for example this scene where we see Tim try to impress and make Dawn laugh, while also making fun of Gareth. We see the unseriousness and fun in Martin Freeman's performance, and the naive, clueless acting from Mackenzie Crook.
There's a lot of, I'm trying to work in here.
Sorry, mate, yeah. How is the investigation going?
Good. Very good.
Do you need a deputy at all?
No.
Next is Realism. The show is shot in a mockumentary style, but unlike some other mockumentary shows, actually acts as if it's a documentary. Like for example, Tim or David looking at the camera. When Tim, in the middle of an interview, decides to find and ask Dawn out, where he takes off the microphone he's wearing, giving the sense that this is really happening, the camera crew also following Tim as he does so. And in the Christmas special, it takes place after the release of the documentary, as shown by the subtitles and David Brent even acknowledging the documentary itself.
Stitch up. It was a stitch up. They filmed hours of material, and most of it is a good bloke doing a good job of work.
The humour in the show is also very realistic. Take for example the jelly scene. In the American version it's played as it's an common occurrence, while in the UK it's shown to be an extreme but realistic prank. While in the US Office it's more funny but much more surrealist, and of course the characters are more realistic in the UK version. Take for example the scene where David Brent dances. While a very cringe scene, you do believe this is something somebody would do in order to act cool and to go and outdo the other person's dance, which is the point of the scene. And the show has very washed out drab colours, reflecting the tone of the show, as the show takes place in Slough, a place known for being very depressing, so much so it's ranked the 4th worst place to live in the entirety of England. And finally, David Brent. The show's main protagonist is a very sad and tragic character. He always wants to be the centre of attention, and genuinely thinks his co-workers enjoy his company, like when he announces very tragic character. This is shown in the Christmas special, where he goes on blind dates in order to get to the office party, where we see his total utter lack of social skills and his self-absorbed nature, where he thinks everybody should know him because he was in a BBC documentary.
Contestant number 2 from The Office, that is of course David Brent!
Hey!
Who the fuck's that?
Who are you? What have you been on before? Nothing, so don't...
David is shown throughout the entire series to be a very annoying, unlikable and even hateable character, thanks to Ricky Gervais's terrific performance. But there are 2 scenes, in my opinion, where we see a more humane side to David. The first being where Gareth...
Dam Busters, yeah? The Squadron never dies, does it? Seen that film?
I've got a video.
Well then, yeah.
And the scene where David is made redundant, which I think conveys just how good of an actor and performance this was from Ricky Gervais.
I will try twice as hard. I really will. I know I've been complacent, and I'll turn this place around if we just say that it's not definite now, and then we can. You're not going until if we're starting from now.
The scene is perfect. David avoiding eye contact, the quiver in his voice, his denial that he's really about to lose his job, trying to save his job. Incredible acting from Ricky Gervais. And one of the only scenes where David doesn't try to be remotely funny or play up an act for camera. Terrific writing from Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant. David Brent is a very, very sad man. The best way you could describe him and compare him is to his USA counterpart. Michael Scott, while obnoxious, had redeeming qualities and wanted to be loved. David Brent had no redeeming qualities and wanted to be the centre of attention. And finally, the Christmas specials, which I want to make a separate video on, so I'll try to keep this section short. But it's kind of a romantic ending, especially for the UK office. While David has no real job, he puts Neil and Chris in their place, and at the end, in his mind, wins. So, in conclusion, The Office is a near perfect show, terrific writing, acting, camera work, and as a whole, a masterpiece in the sitcom genre. Now,
Get out. Get out. I mean it.